Hello everybody! How you doing? Ready for another day? Guess what I finished just this morning. Here, I'll do this so you guys can see. Which is awesome. Xenomorph shirt. It is done. Pretty cool. All the buttons sewn on and everything. I love these pleats that are on here. It's got some really nice detail, and honestly, I was saying to my boyfriend that this is probably the best shirt I ever put together. It's very nice. So that happened this morning. It's like taking up room on my thing here. Alright, I'm just gonna start ironing, getting ready for the next thing. Is this even gonna be long enough? So we're gonna try. I might need to plug it in on the other side. Alright. Also, should probably fold these up because we're not gonna use them. I could do this for the facing, but I think I'm just gonna do a duplicate. This material. Also, let's get there. Okay, I need my pad for this. I don't even know if it successfully sent out an announcement. So I'm just hanging out, not knowing if people know I'm on right now. Hi. We're getting started on the next project now. I'm actually pretty excited about this. So I'm going to be using the springy silver stuff, and I know it's going to be a challenge. Like, stretch knits are always a challenge, but like I always say, with the right tools, you can accomplish just about anything. Well, the right tools and skill. So ironing is so satisfying to watch, especially when it's the patterned tissue paper. Like, all the little wrinkles just magically disappear. Yeah, right, it's very satisfying. My sister said that I had an unhealthy obsession with ironing once when I was younger and just starting out. I don't know, I find it satisfying to get rid of all those wrinkles and suddenly everything is perfectly smooth. Hello, civil engineers! Sometimes a challenge is good, yeah. I've worked with knits and stretch knits before, so I mean, it's not like I'm new to it, but still, every time I do it, it's gonna be like a challenge. Let's just be real. So, I am ready. I'm ready to face this challenge. It's gonna be, I feel like this dress is gonna be pretty nice. So, 36 years old and tried to iron pants, burned myself instead. Oof. Well, gotta start sometime. I mean, I think I told this story once of when, like, before I understand the art of ironing, I tried to iron my great-grandmother's polyester chiffon headscarf, and she had passed away for many years since at that point. And I didn't understand, you know, like, I thought just put it on a really high heat setting to make it go faster. That was a bad idea. I melted a hole right in that scarf and I felt terrible. I think I didn't even fess up to it because I was one of those kids. What I ended up doing was folding it back up and slipping it back into my mother's drawer. So, didn't tell her about it. Pretty sure that's what I did, because that is something I would do. Okay, we're cutting 2 of these. This is the side front and side back cut too. Yep, so opposite sides. We have the back and we have the front. This is the back, this is the front. So yeah, I understand. Sometimes it just takes some practice. And if you're 36 and have never really ironed properly before, well, you're gonna learn some hard lessons. Okay, so I got this all ironed, ready to go. Just 3 pieces for the dress. We're gonna do the shoulder strap as well. I'm omitting the facings. This is actually a guide for the shoulder strap. So what I'm probably gonna end up doing is adding some seam allowance to this and then interfacing it so that it doesn't stretch, and applying the pretty sequins that I bought to make the shoulder strap. The original pattern just has you making like shoulder straps out of sequined braid or something like that, and I felt it would be too itchy. So I wanted something a little softer for this part. And I'm just gonna improvise. That shirt came out really nice though, huh? Oh no! My nose! Oh no! So let's see, what'd you say? I have a family who I dislike moving back to Texas. Oh, so you dislike your family and they're moving back to Texas? Am I understanding that correctly? My dad's brother is kind of a bully in a way. Oh, that's no bueno. Well, I can understand why you would dislike them if that's the case. I'm sorry you have to deal with that. That's terrible. He asked my sister when she was having a baby. She isn't even married. Oh, one of those. Ay. Yikes. Jeepers. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder how much of this I'm going to have left over now. It's so pretty. It's so soft. I'm just gonna try to carefully drape this somewhere where it's not gonna get all wrinkly again. So I am still accepting donations for the repair of my serger, as you can see by that bar that's still there, and I cannot thank everybody enough for what they donated so far already. It's like amazing. So I think that was Jack and Minty. Oh, someone else was really, really cool. I have it. Lady Kyra. Okay, so Minty, Lady Kyra, and Jack Steele. They graciously donated to my repair fund, so I appreciate that. And that is, we're almost there, just $40 away, thank goodness. So hopefully that could get done quickly. All right. Let's see, I got like 3 yards of this, 2.5. Maybe I got 2.5. I didn't get 4 yards, that's crazy. I got 4 yards of the fringe. It's so springy. This is gonna be really hard to cut out. It might be one of those things where I have to do like one side at a time. Well, honestly, the front is just one piece. Yeah, it's the front and the back are just cut one each. My sister said I like babysitting your kids. My sister said, I like babysitting your kids. So you have kids and she likes babysitting them? Is that right? They must be cool kids. Well behaved. I mean, you might be a little biased because they're your kids, but if they do exist, then no one better for them to exist for. Because you're a good guy. Oh, boop, boop, boop. Alright, I'm trying to assess my situation here. Hang on. This is gonna be very hard. Fantastic manners, like basic stuff. Of course. That's good. Alright, I think we're just gonna do this one at a time because it's just too... This is so springy! So springy! I'm doing it on the wrong side. Hello, Jack Steele! Hey there! I was just going on about my donations and thanking everybody, so I wasn't sure if you caught that, but thank you again so much for yesterday. You can't understand how much I appreciate it. Well, maybe you can, but... I'm like flabbergasted, so I don't actually know what to say other than thank you a million times. I saw your sewing room, which looks amazing. It's really inspirational when we have a space that makes us happy. So when we make our space for ourselves like that, it's like you want to work, you want to do stuff. It makes a big difference in our motivation. Super cool. All right, so the way that this works is so particular. It's just so unforgiving in the way that it moves. I mean, it's forgiving when you're wearing it, but it's just like when I'm trying to cut this out, this is gonna be hard. Let's see if we can use as much as we can here of the fabric we've got. So I'm gonna pin this down. And it's pretty springy, so I'm not worried about puncture holes. And then this is going to keep it from moving underneath too much. Oh, really? My room inspired yours? How wonderful! I'm so happy about that. I'm glad to be an inspiration. I do love my space. I mean, it's a little bit cluttered, but from... My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, which I do enjoy watching. I haven't caught up with it, but I always like that show. And of course, Rarity is my favorite. There was one episode where somebody mentioned how messy her workroom was, and she just said in frustration, "It's creative chaos!" Or organized chaos, that's it. Because I know where everything is, even if it looks like a mess. I know exactly where everything is. So I use that now when I'm describing my workroom. It's like, I know it looks messy, but I understand it. And that's all that matters. Okay, this is gonna be tricky. It's gonna be a little tricky. Is this actually gonna work? Oh my gosh, it's just so bouncy, so springy. It wants to spring away from my blades here. I was just working on my first project of lining a dress. I didn't really know how much that really gives it a finished look. Yeah, lining a dress, man. When I converted myself to just always putting in lining, it changed my game. Like, there are a few little game changers here and there in my work, but one of them was putting in a proper lining and how to really finish it on the inside. By like turning my own factory-made dresses inside out and studying them, I figured out a method that works for me. And I'll tell you, I'm never going back. If like, sometimes I'll put in just a facing for a dress that I'm making, and it's like more of a lighter casual dress, but if I'm making a serious dress, it always has a lining in it. And it makes it so much more luxurious, so like better quality, higher quality, you know. My office looks messy, but it works for me. That's right. So organized chaos. Case in point. Let me see if I can get some better, some different scissors. I'm gonna try a few different scissors here. Or my, I don't like using them because they're so harsh, but the Gingers might be my best choice. These are like serious scissors. Let's see. Let's see what we get here. Oh yeah. Cuts like butter. Cut right through butter. Just no spring back at all from the blades. They're so sharp. Jeez. My wife saw it and said, "Let me organize it for you." Oh no, but you know where everything is. As soon as that happens, everything's going to be in a different place and you won't like it. So this piece is a cut 2. And I'm just doing it one side at a time. So the other side's gonna have to be the opposite way when I cut it out. It's gonna be super cool though. I think I made the right choice in making it a stretch knit instead of anything. And actually the original pattern tells you, see how the grain line is going diagonally here? Because on the bias you have elasticity. Just from the way that most things that have even weave are constructed, are woven. So it is actually compensating and telling you, do it on the bias so you have some elasticity in the dress. But I'm foregoing that in lieu of the up and down, like kind of ribbed corduroy feel of the penne. Because it is already a 4-way stretch, so I'm just doing up and down vertical grain line instead. What's happening? I have friends texting me about The Witcher. After Game of Thrones ended, my friend needed a new fantasy series to get into, and so of course The Witcher started. And now she's asking me about the books and what happens in the books and the story. So I am just reading the first novel now. I read The Last Wish, which is a collection of short stories of The Witcher. And then the first novel is Blood of Elves, which I'm just finishing up now. I'm reading in bed again. It's been a while. I've been a little bit out of practice with the reading, and I'm trying to get back into it. Oh, my friends are funny. What did she say? I'm partway through how Yennefer and Geralt met. She's so freaking cool. Yeah, that's cool. Crazy question. Oh, hang on. Yeah, important papers. Hang on, let me catch up a little. Important papers and emails and some random writing. Still, it's your stuff. Crazy question. I am working on making a wetsuit. Any suggestions on sewing neoprene? I want to do the butting technique using a zigzag. Ooh, yeah. However, it's hard to feed through the feed dogs. I have to push it through. It's about 2.5 millimeters thick and looks like a great show. Love the game. Yes, I love the games too. I actually started with the games. to answer your question, do you have an even feet or walking foot? I may have mentioned this a million times, but having a walking foot attachment for your machine kind of makes a big difference when you're working with stretch knits at home, when you're working with thick fabrics. It really helps to literally feed through because you technically have like a second set of feed dogs on the top, so everything's being pushed through at the same time. And besides that, it's just a lot of patience, and make sure that you have the right needle size. Yes, I tried the walking foot, even that I had to push through. So because you're working with a very thick fabric, it's just going to give you problems unless you had something like an industrial machine, which I don't expect regular people to just have. So I would say just be patient with it. You could use like an exterior tool, not just your fingers, to help guide it in. The butting technique, yeah, that's when you put the two pieces just right up against each other and do zigzag in between. Didn't realize how much fairy tales are referencing kind of make fun. Yeah. You're going to try to do a very tight zigzag, but feeding it through, that's the issue. And let's see, I have an awl that I use sometimes when I need like an extra finger that isn't my own finger to help like push the bit of fabric, just kind of guiding it in. To use this instead of trying to use my finger. That way, if it hits this, it's not going to hit my finger. And you can actually guide this under the presser foot without too much trouble. You just, if you want to take it slow to avoid hitting it with the needle, that would be another suggestion for you. But you did choose a hard fabric. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So I guess just do your best. Okay, so this is one side. Ah, look how pretty. No, come back. Come back, don't fall. It's gotta be so pretty. I was looking at a machine like that last night. Any suggestions for industrial machines? Oh, guys! So I do have suggestions for industrial machine. If you are on Twitch right now and you look through my panels that have like, oh, my chat rules and a little tip thing and whatever, I have a new extension on there that basically breaks down the tools that I use on my stream, including my cameras, my photo studio set, my ruler set with the portfolio and everything. Everything is listed there, including my industrial machine, which I bought on Amazon with free shipping for something like $7.80, something like that. And it came assembled, like they delivered it on a pallet and everything. So this machine is available on Amazon, and if you click on that link, I think it helps me out a little bit. I get like a certain percentage of the sale if you buy anything from the list that I have in, it's called, what is it called? It's just like an Amazon list. You'll see it in the panels. And like, I don't know. I get like a little revenue from whatever is sold from it. So, okay, I do not want this covered in cat hair. I need to put this somewhere safe. Just drape it over her. I don't know if I ever remember naming my dress form. I feel like she needs a name. Cal, oh, I can't stop him. He's just gonna do. Hey, Posa, do you have any sewing resolutions for the new year? Mine is to start sewing clothes and learn more repairs for what I have. Oh. As far as resolutions go, I am pretty bad about keeping to any resolution, so I just sort of try to take it a day at a time. That being said, I do look forward to being a little bit more industrious in my work. Last year was pretty weird, so there was just a lot of unrest, and I lived in 2 different places, and it was just kind of strange. So now that I'm settled, since last June when we moved into this place, I might be able to actually concentrate more on the work that I want to do. And also finish like things like the modes for you project that I have. So really just to be more industrious and to keep doing what I'm doing a little bit more efficiently, perhaps. Try to get those commissions in, you know? New year, new work. Yeah, I'm trying. Like all we could ever do is try our best. Okay. Trying to keep this relatively pinned down without poking holes in the main dress itself. Been catching up with Magicians this morning since I had to sew on all the buttons for this shirt, and it still needs to be washed again, but just sitting there sewing on buttons by hand and managing to binge watch a show that I like to watch. Yes, I know it's a little angsty, and they're all 30-year-olds going to college, but I have a thing about shows that include magic as part of its premise, so there's that. I like it. I haven't seen the 4th season yet, so I just started watching that. Oh, you're moving mountains even when it's slow. Aw. Yeah, just gotta keep on going. Just don't give up. That's the destroyer. One step forward, 2 steps back. That's what they say too. Sometimes you need to take a side step instead. Oh yeah, this part always takes the longest. But after this is all cut out, I don't expect it to take too long. At least, that's what I hope. I just gotta concentrate on it. Tomorrow I'm hosting a painting party. Well, I'm not hosting it. I am helping to bring to life a painting party at a friend's house. Same friend actually that talked to me about The Witcher right now. But we decided to coordinate together and do some beginner acrylic painting tutorials for some friends. And a shipment of canvas panels just came in that I got from Amazon. I think I got all the paints, so we're ready to go. And hopefully I can lead the instruction relatively well. But we'll see. I've taken painting classes and I've done artwork, but I have just very basic knowledge, but probably just enough to be able to explain what people will be doing. Okay, what's going on? My wife said that to me. My wife has an English major. Oh, so I don't even argue with her. It's like no point. She will win. She has all the ammunition in her arsenal. This thing gets so stiff, but it's the only thing cutting through this fabric without too much hassle. Alright, so now for the notches, just gotta make sure which side is back and front here. That's the back, this is the front. Matching, this is where we match the other piece to here, and then on this side. Okay, so those are the sides. Have you ever used LolitaSewingPatterns.storeenvy.com? No, I can't say that I have. I've ordered a few downloadable patterns from them. Oh, let's take a look here. Huh? Those are Otome no Sewing books. What, do they just copy them and then resell them? Because it kind of looks like it. Downloadable though. I wonder if they digitize them then. We're pattern tracing service for Otome no Sewing and Goth Lolly sewing patterns. Brooklyn. Okay. So they trace the patterns that are already in the books. Interesting. I don't know how to feel about that. I used to offer a pattern tracing service, but at the same time, I felt that there was some legality issue there, so I kind of stopped offering it. I do offer like scans of the pattern drafting diagrams that are included in Otome no Sewing, but I try to avoid the actual patterns themselves unless I'm using it for a commission. I don't know, that's like, I don't know how to feel about it. So this is done. Got everything I needed from this piece. Yeah. I mean, and what I've done in the past as well is I offered the pattern but graded up to a particular client because the grading itself is not part of the book. It only goes up to a certain size, and really the max size is like basically barely able to fit even me. So I do pattern grading instead, which makes it a little bit more versatile for our larger figured friends. Because everybody gets to wear this. You don't have to be skinny. I have used them to create patterns to have the Cricut Maker cut them out. Interesting. I'm probably the only person that still uses cursive. Nope, you are not. I love using cursive, and I am a huge advocate for it. I use cursive all the time, and I feel that it is a tragedy that we have removed it from our curriculum. You know, I think it might be safe to say I can get this much. Yeah, oh, I can. Check that out. I've been teaching myself cursive to use in my journal. That's pretty much what I use it. Actually, anytime I write anything by hand, I always use cursive. Always, always. I was just taught cursive. It's faster. It's better for your brain. That's what I believe. I loved my mother's cursive writing, so I always wanted to emulate that. She would write letters to home in Argentina when we were living here in the United States, and she learned cursive in a Catholic school in Argentina, so it was like more European style, so very tight, very curvy, and I was always just fascinated that I thought it was beautiful, so that's what I ended up doing. Oh, you know what? Oh, this is like a mirror image of itself, so really I just need it to be. Some people can't read mine. Oh. It's more intuitive than print. I think so too. If you're practiced at knowing just the letters and how they're formed, it's just faster. You just get it out faster. Instead of having to lift the pen every time you make a stroke, it's a one flow kind of thing, you know? Seems to flow better. Yeah, I find it faster than print. Exactly. I'm also an engineer, and my notes, cursive, are like chicken scratches. Well, sometimes when I write quickly, they tend to be a little bit illegible, or at least to others. What I find tragic is that there are young people now that can't read cursive at all. So if I write a handwritten letter to somebody, once, like I did, they told me they received my letter, but they couldn't read it. And that was a little devastating. And I'm like, what the heck's going on here? And I took my time to write my letter, so like making sure everything looked good and the letters well formed, but to no avail, apparently. Youngsters these days. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna try this. Here, I'm gonna do... You don't need to see my face right now. Just cutting this out. Oh, I know what I did wrong. I did not put this down. So how's everybody doing today? Off to a good start, I hope. I have a day diary about what I did. Nice. Such as doctor numbers. Sorry to ask, I'm sure you mentioned it. What are you working on? I am working on a commissioned flapper dress, this pattern right here. Oops. I'm trying to center it. There it is. So we're working on this dress right here. Commissioned from a friend of mine, so that's what we're doing. The nice lady needed a little help in getting something that fit her bust line. So I am obliging and making a flapper dress to suit her figure. And it's kind of why I decided to make it out of this four-way penne, four-way stretch. Oh, fun! It is fun. I've never done this pattern before, but it looks pretty straightforward, so I'm not too worried about the construction of it. It does have a facing that I'm not going to be using. Instead, I'm going to be making a separate interior piece out of something that's like slip or lingerie fabric. This is a two-way stretch, so I'll make sure that the two-way is going side to side so that it doesn't get misshapen and still retains some structure around the neckline when it's finished. So it's going to be inserted as a lining. No. I might have to go around the other side. Híjole. Yep, other side. Get this little bit off. There, and then over here. Oh, these scissors! I hate them, but they're good. They cut really well, but they're so hard to open. And I'm already starting to get arthritis in my hands at just 37, almost 38. So it's an interesting challenge for myself. I guess that's just the price you pay when you work with your hands as much as I do. Don't let me forget the notches. Okay, this is gonna have to be cut off. It's so fluffy. It's gathering all this fuzz on my blades right now. I'll probably end up doing a very mild zigzag on this. So fuzzy. All this fuzz. Okay, where am I? Might as well. So this is the back, so it has 2 notches. All the back pieces usually have 2 notches, remember? And on that side. And I'm sure you've noticed that I did not cut out the shape of the triangle. Is there anybody still in my chat that does that? Because stop it. We have a lady that hems pants for anybody. Oh, that's cool. Would you happen to have any suggestions for putting in a lining in a dress that is already finished? When I mean finished, it's already constructed. Ooh, that's gonna be, yeah, so that's pretty hard. Altering things to a certain extent is sometimes, depending on how much altering needs to be done, it's sometimes a little more complicated than just making the dress from scratch. So if you are making a lining for an already constructed dress, you would have to have the ability to like clone a pattern of that dress, and there is a way to do that. There are YouTube videos on how to clone your clothes, for instance, and you basically make a pattern from clothes that you already have. You would have to do that so that you have the shape of the pattern. You would put it together out of a lining. And then if there's a facing in there, you'd probably have to take it out. If you wanted to add the facing or keep the facing and then add a lining to the facing, so you have inside of just a full duplicate of the dress as lining, you would have the facing and then the rest of it in the lining shape. Then you would have to do like a little bit of finagling, of clothing engineering, if you will. Of that sort of thing. It can be a little complicated, depending on what you're trying to do. I finished this. Did I finish this? Did I get all my notches? I think I did. And these are just placement markers for the straps. This just tells me what the size is. I think we're done. Okay. We did it. Yay. We did the thing. Yikes. Okay. There we go. I think there's one thing I have left to do. And that is to do the shoulder strap part. So in order to do that, let's see, these are already completed. I'll just kind of haphazardly fold them. Do you recommend notch cutters? Like a notch punch? So that is usually for when you're making pattern, like a pattern block or something made out of cardstock or manila. For example, I have a giant roll of manila cardstock that we use in pattern drafting. So when you have your finished pattern in like the fashion industry, it's not really done in factories, you would have them in one full piece, and all the notches would be notched in with a notch punch. It's really all that's for. When you're cutting out a piece that you're constructing, you don't need the notch punch. It's not what it's for. So I actually have one. I have a notcher, and it is here. So this is what the notcher looks like, and it just has the shape of a little U thing inside, and it's made for cardstock patterns, and those patterns are then hung. So instead of having all your patterns in paper and folded, they would be hung on in a file with pattern hooks. Okay, so we got these pieces. Okay, I've used it on fabric before, but I hear you. Really? You've used a pattern notcher on fabric? You're really not supposed to. It's just not what it's for. Yeah, I've never heard of anybody using a pattern notcher on fabric. Look at all this fabric I have left. I could probably make a whole nother dress out of it. Well, that's nice. If I mess it up, I might be able to redeem it. But we're not going to mess it up. We're going to do it perfectly the first time. Because I said so. Oh my god, so springy. Like, impossible. Can I though? Can I actually do this? Oh my god. Okay. Ah, it's so hard to work with. Just let me fold you. Oh wait, I still have to do this part. Gah. So for this guy, it's just the guide, but I want to make a pattern piece out of it, and I guess that's what I'm going to do. Do I have any extra paper? It's not going to take that much paper. I'll probably just reuse something that I already have. Why? No, Scam Likely. Not today, Scam Likely. For goodness sake. So let's see. I mean, I could probably just do it by the dimensions that it is. We're gonna work in metric. So let's see. We got about 2.5 by 36. We're drafting a pattern very quickly. Didn't I have a pencil? Okay, I'll just use a pen. So I'm really curious, can you explain the college class you teach? Is it just about technique and construction? Oh, I just got called by Scam Likely too. Gosh darn it. It's a conspiracy. I teach, so the class I teach is called production sewing. The idea behind it is to teach not just like sewing, although a lot of the time the students that take the class have never sewn before. So we do have to go over like some basic techniques, but the point of it is to industrialize one's ability to construct a garment. So if you already have basic sewing techniques, you should be able to take it a step further and expedite your skill. And also to do like multiples at a time. So in a factory, you have everything separated by the size and by the colorway that it is. So say you have 3 different colors of shirts, 4 sizes each. Each one would be separated first by the color, so you have 3 stacks of a color, and then within those stacks you have 4 more stacks separated by each size of that color. And then you would go through the one size, one color, same color, different size, same color, different size, same color, different size, and then you move on to the next color. And so I sort of teach how to do that, how that works in a factory, just to do it quickly. Talking on the phone. Can't stay long, but I'm here. I'm glad you're here. Please don't answer. Oh, interesting. Do you then have your students practice those techniques? Yeah, basically the idea is we pretend like we just got an order in, and the way that it worked for the last class, because I didn't have that many students, everybody was given the same pattern, the same size, and everybody was given the same color for the blouse and a different color for the skirt that they were all making. So everybody was supposed to learn the exact same technique on the exact same pattern piece, but all of them were beginning sewers, so I had to sort of adjust the class in order to compensate for their still budding knowledge of sewing. But otherwise, yes, we would pretend we got an order in, we are a factory, and everybody gets assigned a certain part of the construction, and then we just go through and make like 5 or 10 of a thing. Wait, I need to know the color. I'll do this one. I don't even know if this is even a good pen. We're gonna do a centimeter. Come on. Cool, thanks for explaining. I was already curious about college level classes dealing with the sewing industry. It all is different. Our state is not known for having a robust fashion industry. So the fact that we even have a college that is an accredited fashion design course is amazing. It's not even in Albuquerque, which is where I live, and it's our largest city in the entire state. It's in Santa Fe, which is our capital, but it's basically considered by the entire state as a very large town, or a very, very small city. So it depends. I mean, I probably wouldn't qualify for teaching in a place like Los Angeles at FIDM, for instance. But because we are so few and far between as people who have experience, the classes here tend to be a little bit more forgiving. When I was learning at FITM, the class was much more intense. So it really depends on where you live and what kind of courses they offer. Most of the time, in fact, when I went to school, it started with a Sewing 101 class, and then you would move on to a higher technique. But in FITM as well, the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, they are mostly focused on like fashion design, couture-ish techniques. So when you're making one-offs, for instance, as opposed to pretending to work in a factory and the way that that whole thing works. Because just like tailoring, production sewing in a factory is a little bit different than sewing for a one-on-one client or for tailoring itself. So it's all like its own world. It sort of is intermeshed by certain techniques that are shared, but they each have their own like systems that are different from each other. Eventually I may have to take some classes. Well, I would highly recommend it. It would always be good to round out your education by taking different classes taught by different people who probably do a few different things than I do. Everybody does it a little bit different. Everybody swears by this a few different adages or techniques or something. So these are just the things that I find work for me, and so I just feel inclined to share what I've learned. And then Civil Engineer says, took a community college class and tried to learn Spanish. That's nice. I also was a little overzealous my first year going back to college a few years ago, and I loaded up on so many classes, including Japanese, which I know a little bit of Japanese just to be able to get by in Tokyo, but I decided to take another language course, and so Japanese was it. And that was it was fun, and I'm glad that I took like the introduction class, which I probably could have gotten away with taking the first level, but I didn't want to take it too hard, so I made it easy on myself. It was still a lot because there was homework and stuff, so. We have some at colleges around me in Orlando. Thanks again. They offer those classes. That's cool. So you're in Orlando. Yeah, you'll probably have a lot more opportunity for learning some different techniques that are a little bit more advanced. If you get to that level anyway. Which you will if you're determined. I believe in you. Okay. Just need... Yeah, so my idea is to stabilize the strap piece with some interfacing. So I'm just going to cut off like enough. Go. I do like the way that velvet looks when it's shining in the light. It has that soft sort of luster to it when it just hits certain areas, certain bubbles. Here we don't make our schedule or choose different classes we want unless they are related to our course. My course, Design for Bachelor and Fashion for Master, didn't have other options, just the mandatory classes. That is interesting. So when you choose a major or a course of action, they like, these are the classes and only these classes, you can't take any electives, which I find interesting. Almost done with the cutting. Almost. Yeah, we don't usually have minors. You're in one course, and sometimes it gives you the option to choose between some classes, but they are all related to the course. You have to follow the course contents. Interesting. That is interesting. Yeah, we have the program, like, requirements, but there are also, like, you're not restricted necessarily to just that. So that's an interesting way of approaching it. Also, I am curious, who do we have in here? Some new people, maybe? We have a Pixie Firefly, a Giza, I don't know if that's a bot or not, Civil Engineers, of course. We have Posef, and we have Smiley Pants 0903. Just thought I'd check that out and spy on who's in my chat right now, so hello! Alright, so now I have to cut out some interfacings so that this doesn't do this. What am I doing? I need more than just this much. Ah! Well, I tried. I need 2 more pieces because I'm going to do these like double-sided, like this, because it's soft. And again, no, yeah, I think that would be better. Unless I, like, no, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Alright, Carol made a mistake. But not too bad, because all I have to do is just cut out more of this stuff. Do we have enough? Yeah. Yikes. So springy. Minty, don't you have a thesis to work on? Are you still working on that? Or do you prefer that I don't remind you? Oh, I sent it to my professor already, waiting for her to okay to deliver it. Ooh. Oh, I am so happy. I bet that's a load off. I bet you're very happy that you don't have to work on that anymore. That's right. I think I do remember now that you mentioned you finally had it off your chest and you can work on your projects, right? Lots more sewing in your future, I assume? Did I ever send you... Did I send you the patterns, I think, for some bloomers or something? Forget who I sent those to. I thought it was you. I have to prepare the presentation, though. Yes, sewing now! Yay! And you sent them! My wife wrote a thesis to get her master's. I guess that is what you have to do to get a master's. I am not a very studious person unless I'm intensely interested in whatever the curriculum happens to be. So I'm very, very selective about what I study. Otherwise, I'm a terrible student. So obviously, I really love doing this because I'm pretty okay at it. But anything else that requires, like, academia is extremely difficult for me just because it's not interesting. Or maybe I'm just lazy. That's also possible. Possibly. And this stuff is heavy. It's very springy. This stuff's springy. Woo. Well, it's easier to fold this way. Who would have thought? Okay, got this guy. I shall use them! Hooray! I love history. I love history too. I love learning, but practical stuff. But I hate having to study and do presentations and exams. Exams get me. I used to have a really hard time with presentations, and honestly, I realized why. It's because if I was presenting something that I was not confident in, I would be very nervous. But if for some reason I was very confident in my presentation, the way that I might orate to my class about sewing, that's different. I find it a little easier to do if it's something that I'm confident in. So I suppose that's what studying is for, huh? Because then you're supposed to be, like, studied and confident in the subject matter that you're presenting. Alrighty. I think what we might do... Yeah, overthinking everything. Oh, it's such a downfall, I know. Alright, I have 2, maybe 3 options, so I'm not sure. This is going to be too much. I think this, the cotton woven, is going to be too much, the shape flex. This might work. And I also have my tricot. I don't think I want to use my tricot on this. I have more of this tricot instead, so I'm going to try that. It's only a 2-way stretch, so I'm going to make sure that the non-stretchy part is going up and down. So, we are going to put this aside. But most of the time it doesn't happen like that, and me too, civil engineers. In high school I remember reading my paper out loud. So much fun with a small stutter. Oh, I didn't have many exams, but I hate it nonetheless. Yeah. It just depends, too, on the subject matter. Okay, which way is stretchy? This is stretchy. So we want to go this way, because this is not stretchy. So I'm going to take my pattern here that I created for my shoulder straps, and we're going to make a few pieces here. Maybe just 2. May only need 2. So I'm going to cut off this much. This time I don't need to use these scissors. That's much easier. Okay. And it's a fusible. Hot glue guns hate me? Oh no, what are you trying to do with a hot glue gun? You know, they hate everybody. Don't take it personally. It's the nature of hot glue guns. Just to be mean. so I have this little scrap left. If I need to use it, I'll just put it in my scrap bin over here. Now, I'm going to fuse this onto the shoulder straps I just cut out. Probably just the top part. I don't feel that it needs double the interfacing since it's going to be pretty thick already. And they're all the same. They're just like strips of fabric here. So here we go. This and then these two. Also for this tricot that I have to be careful because the adhesive seeps through the weaving. So I have to use a piece of parchment paper when I'm ironing this on. Let's get this ready to go. And we need to turn it down just a tad. Get these prepared. So right now it's very stretchy going this way, and I'm going to apply the interfacing, which is not stretchy, going this way. So it should keep it from warping when it's being worn. We'll do one at a time. Let's not get crazy. Okay, so somewhere over the rainbow. Where did it go? Supposedly, I had a piece of parchment paper. You could probably just use tissue paper too. But I had a ready piece. Ready to go. Oh, it hates those hobbits. For real. Down here. Man. Found it. All right, I got it. A piece of baking parchment. Bye, Minty. Thanks for hanging out. Have a nice day or night where you are. Where do you get your tricot from? So I managed to find this tricot on, it's the Pellon sheer knit for soft tailoring. I don't like it, but I got a bolt of it from Walmart. You can order it online, get a whole bolt, have it either delivered to your house or pick it up at your nearest Walmart. But the one that I would recommend is called Tricot Deluxe, and there's only one company that sells it. It's a little more expensive, but I feel like it's worth it. If you are in the market for some nice high quality tricot, there is that option. Okay, we're gonna see how well this works now. I did put it on the right way. Okay, so this is now stabilized. So it's not going to stretch anymore. We'll do the other one. I'm clueless. Oh, thanks. Would you recommend the Trico Deluxe for interfacing satin? I would. Yes, definitely. That, have I shown it to you before? Let's see. It's probably the softest Trico interfacing you'll ever find. And it looks like this. It feels so smooth. And this is basically what you would find in formal wear. Like really well-made formal wear. It's $8.99 a yard, and it comes in 3 colors. It comes in this ivory, black, and white. And honestly, I think this is the best stuff. Soon, when I have the ability to do so, I will like stock up on this stuff. Right now, I just have a bunch of little scraps that I use for small projects. But it is seriously the best. I'm clueless about sewing, but I like watching stuff I don't know anything about. Well, that's cool. We're happy to have you here, even if you don't know what's really going on my table. I'm happy to explain. It's kind of my shtick. So here we have 2 stabilized shoulder straps, and then we have these pieces. See, the one thing that I'm afraid of is that if this is connected, that one side of it is going to droop. But then again, that might not matter, because once this is sewn, I'm going to apply the sequins braid to it. And for some reason I thought I got a little notification. I'm going to apply the sequin braid to it through both pieces. So then that's just going to like sandwich everything together. Alrighty. That being said, here we have our pieces. We move these aside. I need to get some thread chosen for this stuff. I do not think I need to serge this, so I'm not worried about that. Ah! Somewhere though I had a gray color, a light gray color. Oh, I might have thrown it back in here. Here it is. Perfect! Okay. It's a light gray, but it's still, I think that's okay. It's the best gray I've got. Yeah, so instead of serging anything, I might just zigzag the seams together. Put this away. Oh, I'm getting hungry, but I ate lunch already. I think we have mashed potatoes left over. Okay. Don't think I have another gray, like that steely blue gray. Fine. I have? Oh, here they are. Empty bobbins. We get to fill a bobbin. Hooray. Yeah, so we're going to do a zigzag on this. A very small, narrowish zigzag. And I need to put on my walking foot because it is stretchy. Done? Okay. Yeah, this guy is a lifesaver. So, I love using it almost exclusively. Oh, I should probably put that on my my list. My Amazon list. First sewing streamer I found was retro. Well, that's cool. I mean, technically this is retro, what I'm doing. Although, is that what their name was? Or was their style? Okay, this is going to require a different needle because it is what it is. Alright, let's see if I have a ballpoint on here. I think I do. Let's see. Okay. Is that Amazon list on Discord or your blog? No, it is only, it's an extension for Twitch. So it's only on the Twitch panels down below. So if you're watching on an app, or you should be able to see it. It's called Black Box? Something like that. Test a swatch here just to make sure we've got the proper stitching length. hear you about not always understanding what you're seeing, but Carol does a great job explaining, and I also love just watching the process. Oh, you guys. You are so sweet. I'm glad you think so. As long as you get something out of it. My streaming is not in vain. Okay, so we're going to do a very narrow zigzag on this guy. Even though it's stabilized, I still want to try to keep the stitching consistent, so that is what shall happen. And this is going to be at about 1 centimeter. I already see an issue. Yep. Yep. Before I dig myself a little grave, we're gonna stabilize the other side of these shoulder straps because it's moving already and there's no reason for it to do that. Retro Game Jam, Haley, neat. Last week I spent 12 hours on my phone. Oh. Ah. I knew it. I knew it. I should have just went ahead and stabilized all the pieces for the shoulder straps. Did I do that? No. Oh my god. Mistakes were made. I'm just gonna sit here and cry. Well, at least I didn't try sewing the entire thing before realizing the mistake. I swear, this skill is a never-ending learning process. I feel like maybe sometimes I feel like I have control over it. I'm like, nah, I can do it. And then, even though in the back of my mind I'm like, no, you should know better. You should just be careful. Err on the side of caution. Do I? Sometimes. This time, I did not. Ah, my nose. I should have taken Claritin this morning. I can still take some. I'm still gonna do that. Ah. Where is it? Alright, bye Jack! Thanks for joining! Oh, so how is everybody while I make my corrections here? You know, we're just gonna sit and talk for a minute. Taking out these darn stitches, and I can't use my razor because I don't want to ruin this fabric. It's got a very specific, perfect pile to it. So I can't use the razor. I have to use the stupid seam ripper. I hate using seam rippers. Everyone having a good day? Working on projects? Looking forward to dinner. The weekend. It's Thursday, so we're not that far. Come on, buddy. Come on. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're just gonna go through the back here. Went to my closet and everything is almost button-up shirts. That is not necessarily a bad thing. Are they all variations of blue? I noticed that's a theme. Personally, I like a guy who can rock a pink shirt. Like, there are so many colors, and blue is just one of them. I tease my boyfriend about that. I'm like, you need like a green shirt. Maybe like throw a red one in there somewhere. Some purple would be awesome. Purple with like a steel silver tie. Oh my god, that's hot. Like, spice it up a little. You only live once. Did I just say that? Did I just say that? At least I didn't say the shortened version of that. Oh my god. What I meant to say is life is too short, and therefore, why spend your short life wearing one color? Why spend your short life being basic? It's not what we're about. We are creative individuals. We deserve to have fun. And wear flapper dresses, or Victorian clothes, or things that look like Alice in Wonderland. Anything, just to break up the monotony and dread and drudgery of everyday life. I just watched a video on a couple that lives like Victorian style, like their entire house. They barely use electricity unless guests are over. They dress in the style. One of them rides a penny farthing. I thought that was pretty awesome. Like, yeah, you keep doing you. Hey, Tenacious Bob! How you doing, Rob? How you doing, friend? What if I want to be basic, though? That's your choice. I'm just saying, don't judge the people that don't want to be basic. That's all. There are so many stories that I've heard about girls getting attitude when they dress up in Lolita in public, and like people who don't understand it decide to rain on their parade for whatever reason, because apparently they're terrible people and have nothing else better to do. I'm good, how are you? I think I really hate to change. That's understandable. And that's definitely all up to you. If you want to change and can't find yourself doing it, then that's a you problem. But I mean, if you're comfortable with it, then that's fine. So, am I correct in that most of your button-up shirts are blue? Or blue check, or blue stripe with white, blue and white, gray maybe? Nope. Oh, good. What am I missing in my colors here? Oh, luckily I had this extra here. Look at me, I'm so smart. I had extra just in case, and look, I needed it. I think I can get 2 more out of this. Think. Oh my god, it's almost exactly the size that I need here. So really all I would have to do is cut it on the crease that I just made. I'm using this one. Ah, fine. I like button-ups, but I have a hoodie I'm always wearing, so during the winter months, I never wear button-ups. I mean, that's fair. It's like, well, for me, it's turtleneck and sweater weather. Although today I'm not wearing a turtleneck. And I did dress up yesterday, which was fun. I really need more blouses in my, in my closet. Alright, we're going to set these aside and do the same thing. We're going to fuse these bubbies. I need to get rid of like half of my closet. Well, you should see my closet, but I'm not getting rid of anything. I like my clothes. They're all very unique. Did I put it back? I did. Oh, it probably needs to heat up, but how is that? Not bad. You know, it might have also been moving because of the pile of this particular kind of fabric. It's like a velvety fabric, which means that it has this fuzzy pile on it. And because it's raised a little bit, when it scrunches together, it tends to move in any direction, especially if you have two of these facing each other. And so physics happens. So I'm hoping maybe the stabilizing will help to circumvent the way it gets offset just by its nature. So let's see how well we do. I may end up also just having to pin it at the beginning. Oh my gosh, my nose, why? Claritin, do your magic! I have a bunch of sweaters, but Texas is never cold. Like never? Like ever? Just touch the iron. That's the way to check if it's hot, right? Yeah. Or you spray it. Yeah, but very funny. The way grandmas used to do it is they would lick their finger and touch the iron real quick to see if it's hot. I do not do that. I just put it down and I test it to see what kind of leftover heat is on the pad. Safer that way. Still, you know, it's hot. Kind of almost burns, but doesn't really hurt. It's cooling off. Okay. So now all my strap pieces are stabilized. Oh yeah, Kel. You know you're not supposed to be up there, right? He's licking his paw. He doesn't care. If we get ice in Austin, people freak out. It's kind of California weather at the moment. California weather sounds so nice right now. It's been cold AF lately and I hate it. Wait, what, really? I mean, I know I'm hilarious, but that sounds so dangerous. Oh no, they would just like lick their finger and touch the plate. It's like an old-fashioned way. Or, you know, before that, you would have an iron on a stovetop heating up because it was an actual iron. And you would just take a little water and spritz it onto the plate to test if it steams and sizzles. You learn something new every day, don't you? Okay, so round two. Now that all of it's stabilized, let's see if we can keep our shit together. So I am going to just I'm going to kind of use it as Velcro. It's going to like interlock some of the pile together at the beginning. See if we can get this to like stick to itself. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do number 4 and down to 2.5 width for a zigzag. Let's see how well I do this time. I'm gonna make sure that it's going to evenly spread. Oh, can you see this? I don't know if you can see this. So here what I'm doing is I have the end here. I know that they're all the same size, so I'm going to make sure that this meets up with the other one. And then I'm going to stretch it to make sure that it's evenly distributed along the entire length of this strap. Because in theory, these should be all the same size. There should be no deviation on the top or the bottom. So I'm just stretching it out, making sure it's all even. I'm going to hold it. And I know that this is a place I'll aim for until I readjust it. Okay, so here we go. So far, so good. Now, I still have a deviation here. This is hard. I'm telling you, this is hard. Ugh. Now look. And I was keeping it pretty taut, so it still moved on the top. Well, we're just gonna have to work with it at this point. Man. Son of a bitch. You try, and sometimes it still comes out like shit. God damn it. Alright, well I'm going to start on the other side then, starting at the same edge. If you're going to do that, I guess we'll just try to keep it as consistent as possible. For goodness sake. Can't believe this! Well, we are kind of improvising with these shoulder straps anyway, so not too worried about it, I guess. Let's see. I wouldn't know. I can sew with a needle and thread very badly, but that's the extent of my skills. I mean, hey, you gotta start somewhere. Yeah, this guy just wanted to travel. Got all bunched up. It might also be that my walking foot is sort of dying on me. Everything's dying on me because I've had everything for years. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm trying to get by. You know, you do what you can. So here's one. And from here, I'm going to try to turn it out. And I have a tool for this. A loop turner. I might have to trim off these excess edges. Oh, and also I did give myself a little bit of a seam allowance on the ends, so that actually might not be so bad. Because for the way that it deviated, it's almost an entire, like, few sizes difference. But I did give myself a seam allowance, which might help me in the end. So I'm going to just trim off this edge. I don't know how well you can see what I'm doing right now. Oh yeah, you can sort of see the edge of my table. What time is it? 2:23. Catching. Okay, so here we have this guy and we need to turn it inside out. Did I? I did. I got my loop turner. We'll see how well this guy works. It's pretty thick, but if I can catch one side of it and then start to turn it inside out, it might be okay. Yeah, I caught it and now it's just flipping out. Haha, it's flipping out, guys! There we go. And hey, a shoulder strap. That's not bad. That is going to be a lot more comfortable than the itchiness of the sequins thing that I have on there. So let's see, where is that stuff? Aha! It's going to be very pretty, very sparkly. Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool, huh? I have to do something about... I don't know if I can. Keeping this, like, from being too puffy. You guys, I need to take a break for a minute. Honestly, I'm debating getting a sandwich or something, but we might have sandwich stuff here. Anyway, I need like 10 to 15 minutes, so I'll be back in about that time. So, if I see you, hooray, I'll see you when I get back. If not, that's fine. Have a great day. So I'll be back in 10 to 15, and yeah.
your space and time for a little while. Give me your space and time for a little while. Give me your space and time for a little while. Give me your space and time for a little while. Tell me what you see. 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 Give me your space and time for a little while. Give me your space and time for a little while. Tell me what you see.
Okay, we're back. Oh my god. Sorry about that. Okay, next one. We're doing this. Oh, jeez. Just curious. Who I got? Oh, TC Gamer's here. That's cool. Well, this is working better than the first one, but I'll still have to cut it down to size. Where are my snips? Did I put them back? I think I did. I did. I had so much ham just now for a quick nibble. Had a lot of leftover ham, so it was delicious though. I should have held it at the end the entire time, the first time. Stupid! I think I know better. Oh, woe is me. It's like this much now. Not too bad. I did add an extra centimeter on the top and the bottom, so that's good. Okay, let's turn this guy over. actually turns very nicely. I guess it's the the nature of this pile that does it. Alright, so then I'm going to apply this little sequence thing as an applique. I'm just going to do a straight stitch for it. What I could do is this. I think I might have to do a double stitch here, so on one side and then the other. Let's see. Should sew okay. I'm gonna do really wide, really long length. I might have to do it a little closer. I don't know if that's actually gonna result in the thing that I want. Oh, woe is me. How does that look? Too bad. So sparkly. It's like creating a little disco ball effect on here. hardly did that work. Just need to move all the sequins back. Okay. Well, it's not bad. Never sewn sequins on before. all going this way, so maybe I should try doing that instead. Ah. I guess this is why I buy extra of everything. It's all experimental until I know better. Well, hi there.
Hello.
Did you see? Did you see?
Oh, I was excited. Because I'm going to be seeing him at 7 o'clock.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. That's very nice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. Switch. I will get something to put that in a minute.
Do you want me to wrap it for you like a gift? Okay, I can do that. You're seeing him when? 7 o'clock? What time is it now?
Like 3?
3? Okay.
Yeah.
Lesson learned. Hmm. I need to make another stupid fan. He should wash it before he wears it.
Okay. Then I should put that in the wash now then. And just regular machine wash is fine?
It's sturdy as heck.
No, I'm just saying it'll be fine for that.
Yeah, it should be fine.
I thought so, but I thought I'd ask.
This is the front. And this is the back, right? Yeah, this is the back. That goes on that side. This is the front. Yeah, I have a feeling I'm gonna have to use a lot of pins. This is gonna be interesting. Why do I do this to myself? I need this, I guess. I don't want to take any chances. It's so springy. So squirrely. To number 4, really small, kind of longish. 1.8 looks good. And 2.5 width. I think that should be enough. This is a 1/2 inch. Oh, it's so heavy. So if it's a 1/2 inch, that means it's about right here. Oh, did I put that back? Oh, I did. Alright, well, I'm going to sign off for now. So thanks for joining me, and we will see you probably tomorrow. So bye-bye.